What is your name, please?
My name is Chester Lauck.
What is your name, please?
My name is Chester Lauck.
What is your name, please?
My name is Chester Lauck.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one of them is the real Chester Lauck, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. And here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, good evening, and welcome once again to our game of deliberate misrepresentation, wherein our panel tries to figure out which one of three challengers has sworn to tell the truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you each week by America's #1 tonic, Geritol, the high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. And now let's meet our cross-examiners. What is your name, please?
My name is Polly Bergen.
My name is Ralph Bellamy.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
And my name is Gardner.
Now, these three gentlemen all claim to be Chester H. Lauck. Only one, of course, is the real Chester H. Lauck. The other two have merely assumed that identity, and they do not have to stick to the truth. Now, panel, in front of you, there is a copy of an affidavit. Will you please follow along with your copies while I read to you? I, Chester Lauck, a former cattle rancher, am now an executive with a major American oil company. Previously, however, I was in the entertainment business. My partner, Tuffy Goff, and I made 8 feature films together and worked as a team in radio for 25 years. You may remember us as Lum and Abner. Signed, Chester Lauck. Now, panel, these three people all claim to be Chester Lauck, a member of the team of Lum and Abner. Only the real Chester Lauck, of course, as usual, is required to answer your questions truthfully. Each of you will question until you hear this signal, and at the end of the questioning period, you will be asked to register your vote for the one who, in your opinion, is the real Chester Lauck. And we'll begin tonight's round of questioning with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, are you Lum or Abner?
I'm Lum.
Number 2, are you Lum or Abner?
I'm Lum.
Well, then you must be Abner.
No, I'm Lum.
Number 1, did you perform in dialect?
Yes.
Number 2, I want to ask a mercenary question. It says here that you're connected with an oil company. Why is it that oil investments only have to pay 27.5% under other investments?
Well, the 27% is deductible, first of all, from your income tax. Also, it gives a leeway for more exploration in oil and other industries.
Because the government is interested in making more.
That's correct.
I see, yeah. Number 3, whatever happened to Tuffy?
He's living in Los Angeles now.
Number 1, would you do some of the dialect that you did as a Lum?
Hi, Gardner.
You mean Lum and Abner did pantomime? I would like to ask number 1, you were a contemporary of the Happiness Boys. Can you tell me their names?
No, I can't.
Number 2, can you?
I can't remember
Number
their
3, can
names
you?
now.
I don't remember that.
Number 1, who was Dinty Doyle?
The name's familiar, but I can't
Number
tell
2,
you.
would you know?
I can't
Number
quite
3, would
remember.
you know?
I don't remember.
Number 1 again, what comedian made the phrase, "Was you there, Shorty," famous?
Oh.
He was your competition. How about you, number 2?
I can remember the phrase, but right offhand I
Number
can't
3,
think
would
of
you
it.
know?
Could it have been Jack Pearl?
Number 3, what was Eddie Cantor's theme song?
I don't remember.
What oil company did...
Gun on the oil. Polly Bergen.
Is he the same man that did the plays?
No.
No, that was a different one?
You weren't even born then.
Oh. I just wanted, you to know that I knew all those things. Number 1, did you or your partner play Kingfish?
That was Amos and Andy, Polly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's perfectly all right. Cosman and Corral. They were good, too.
Thank you. I'm sure there was. Number 2, could you tell me what is an offset well?
Pardon?
An offset well. Number 1, could you tell me what an offset well is? Oil well.
No, I can't tell you that.
Number 3.
Ralph Bellamy.
Number 3, what's an offset well?
Why, we're working as a team today.
Well, if you have production in one well and you drill an offset well, that's right across from the next location.
By the way, what oil company are you with, number 3?
Continental Oil Company.
Continental. Do you happen to know under what 3 studios they've just recently discovered oil in Hollywood?
I believe 20th Century Fox is one.
Well, it's producing there, but what 3 studios? Number 1, do you know they've just found oil under 3 new studios?
No, I don't.
Number 2, do you know?
No, I can't remember.
They needed it like a hole in the head. I guess.
Number 3, what does viscosity mean?
I don't know.
All right, it's time to vote. Without consultation, will you mark your viscosities and select number 1, number 2, or number 3? Remember, please, that if the team of challengers, the team of challengers receives $250 for every incorrect vote, which means, of course, that they can win as much as $1,000 if they defeat or fool the entire panel. All right, panel, ballots all marked? Polly, how about you? For whom did you vote?
I voted for number 3. I may not know anything about kingfish, but I do know about offset wells, and so did number 3.
In relation to Orson? Ralph Bellamy.
Oh, really?
Number 3. I have some misgivings because none of them seem to know very much about anything, but number 3 had the most information.
Kitty Carlisle, for whom did you vote?
Number 3. For 3 reasons. He looked like an ex-cattle rancher, and he did know about offset wells, and he knew about Jack Pearl.
Uh-huh. All right, Hi Gardner, your vote
Well,
went
this makes
to...
it unanimous, Bud.
Well...
Number 3. Number 1 spoke too oily. Sounds like Brooklyn. Number 2, I think once sold oil stocks, and number 3 did know Jack Pearl.
Uh-huh. All right,
We're
there
all
you have
wrong.
our rhymes and our reasons. The votes are cast, and let's see what good a lot we drew with it. We are now going to find out which one of these gentlemen is the real member of the team, the famous team of Lum and Abner. So right now, will the real Chester Lauck please stand up? Thank you very much. It's a happy panel tonight. Number 1, would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
My name is Charles Ryder, and I'm a senior instructor with the Dale Carnegie Institute, Brooklyn Division.
And number 2, how about you?
My name is Bob Thompson. I'm a men's fashion designer for Jules L. Simon in Chicago.
Well, it was a great pleasure having you all here tonight, and as I say, the panel will crow now until we see what happens during the rest of the show, and well, they should, believe me. It must be nice to find out that they still knew you, too. And whatever the reason was, inasmuch as you fooled nobody, I'm sorry to say, nonetheless, from Geritol comes $150 to be divided among you. Thank you very much for being with us. Good night, and the best of good luck to you. Well, we'll see how your luck fares on the next one now. Now, may we have our next team of challengers, please?
What is your name, please?
My name is Dolores Shorty.
What is your name, please?
My name is Dolores Shorty.
What is your name, please?
My name is Dolores Shorty.
All right, panel. Once again, may I direct your attention to your copies of this affidavit. I, Dolores Shorty, am a full-blooded American Indian. Since I am familiar with the customs and handicrafts of my tribe, I made the costume I am now wearing. Earlier this month, at Sheridan, Wyoming, in competition with over 100 Indian girls from 55 tribes, I was chosen on the basis of poise and personality as Miss Indian America of 1957. Signed, Dolores Shorty. Now, panel, these three young ladies, as you heard, all claim to be Dolores Shorty, Miss Indian America of 1957. Remember, please, that only the real Dolores Shorty is required to answer your questions truthfully, as usual, and we'll begin this round of questions with, hi, Gardner. Hi?
I'll skip the first question. I was going to ask you to name the 55 tribes. Number 3, what famous son of what famous father is very active in Indian affairs?
I don't know.
And number 2, would you know?
No, I don't.
Would you know number 1?
Will Rogers, Jr.
Thank you. Number 1, what famous cowboy star and his very lovely wife have adopted 3 Indian children?
Roy Rogers.
Number 2, is it still against the law to sell hard liquor to Indians?
No, it isn't. Not in the cities, but on the reservation, yes.
Uh-huh. Number 4, are there any blonde Indian girls?
Number 4?
Number 4. That's you, Polly.
All right, Bud, why don't you answer that? You're number 4.
Well, with what we have in the stores today, yes, there must.
All right, number 3, are there any blonde Indian girls?
There are some, the half-breeds.
Half-breeds, I see.
Polly Bergen.
Number 1, what tribe are you from?
I'm Nez Perce.
I beg your pardon?
Nez Perce.
Oh, Nez Perce. Where do you live?
Kamei, Idaho.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Kamei, Idaho.
Oh, thank you. Number 2, what tribe are you from?
I'm a Mohawk.
A Mohawk? And where do you live?
I live in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn? Well, I tell you, they get around, don't they?
They got it right.
Yeah. Number 3, could you tell me what kind of paintings are Navajo Indians famous for?
Sand painting.
Sand paintings? Thank you. Number 2, could you tell me what other traits were there besides were you just counted on poise and personality for the contest?
Talent and knowledge of your tribe were included.
I see. What did you do as far as talent is concerned?
Sorry, Polly.
She was kingfish.
That's right. Ralph Bellamy.
Number 2, what renegade tribe of Indians inhabited northern Idaho?
I don't know.
Number 3, do you know?
No.
Number 1, do you know?
They were my people, the Nez Perce.
A renegade tribe.
Half of them got chased into the state of Washington for making war against the United States.
Number 1, what is the earliest form of Indian writing on record?
I really don't know.
Number 2, do you know?
No, I don't.
Number 3.
I wouldn't know.
Number 1, under what cabinet secretary do the Indian affairs fall?
Under the Department of Interior.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 3, I'm going to reverse the proceedings for a moment. You were elected Miss Indian America, and I'm going to try to pick Miss America in Atlantic City next week. I've been invited to be one of the judges, and I'd like you to tell me what to look for to be as a judge. What did you think a judge should be?
This program is called To Tell a Lie.
I think judges should watch everything.
Everything.
I mean...
May I say that I agree?
Huh?
About the person.
About the person. You're wearing jewelry that you have made yourself?
No.
Are you wearing jewelry that you've made yourself, number 2?
Yes.
And
Once again, it's time to vote. I'm sorry, but there's no consultation further. Will you please mark your ballots now, panel? And select as your choice number 1, number 2, or number 3. Okay, panel, all set? Polly? Ready or not, here we come to you first. For whom did you vote, Polly Bergen?
Oh, I voted for number 1 because she knew all the answers, but I wanted to vote for number 2 because I might have been wrong, but Brooklyn would have loved me.
Ralph Bellamy, your vote went to...
Number 1. I just felt she had all the answers, too.
How about you, Kitty?
I voted for number 3. I never heard of the Nesbergs going into Washington.
And hi, Gardner, you cast your vote for...
I also voted for number 1, and I hope I'm wrong because I would like to tell the truth to be the only program in the history of television where the Indians win.
Well, all right, let's see if they do. With your minds made up and the votes all counted, let's see which one of these pretty ladies is the real Miss Indian America of 1957. Will the real Dolores Shorty please stand up? Well, score for Kitty Carlisle on that one. And now let's find out about these other lovely young ladies. How about you, number 1? Would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
My name is Sunny Chappell. I'm half Nez Perce and half Tsimshian, and I work at Anna Laurie Toy Shop right here in New York.
And number 2, how about you?
My name is Carolyn Dybo, and I'm a full-blooded Mohawk Indian, and I go to Manual Training High School in Brooklyn.
Well, there we are.
Well, it's not fair because they're all Indians.
I see. All right. Nobody tried chemo-sabio in any of them. I thought surely somebody would, but nobody did. So may I say to you, nice ladies, that there were 3 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $750 for you 3. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed your visit. We certainly did. Good night and good luck. Now let's have our third team of challengers, please.
What is your name, please?
My name is Michael McDougal.
What is your name, please?
My name is Michael McDougall.
What is your name, please?
My name is Michael McDougal.
Now, panel, will you follow along again with your copies of this affidavit? I, Michael McDougall, am a gambling detective. I have worked with both private and public agencies, including the Office of Naval Intelligence, to expose crooked gambling throughout the country. I am the author of 7 books on gambling, and I write a weekly column which is syndicated in more than 100 newspapers. Signed, Michael McDougall. All right, panel, as you heard, these 3 gentlemen all claim to be Michael McDougall, gambling detective. Will each of you once again question until you hear the signal? Our guests are ready. We'll start with Ralph Bellamy. Ralph?
Well, number 1, other than Nevada, where is it legal to gamble in the United States?
Nevada is the only state.
Number 2, same question.
Same.
Number 3.
Nevada.
Number 1, what does the hard way mean?
To make either 6 or to make any even number with doubles, like 8 with 2 4s or 6 with 2 3s.
Number 2, what does birdcage mean in gambling terms?
It's a device in which the numbers are carried.
Number 3, what is back of the line odds?
What was that?
Back of the line odds.
Back of the line odds?
Yeah.
They vary in different establishments.
Number 1, what are back of the line odds?
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 3, it says in the affidavit that you wrote 7 books. What are some of them?
Well, there's McDougal on dice, McDougal on cards, McDougal on poker.
Thank you, I get the idea. Number 2, is there much crooked gambling in America?
There's considerable crooked gambling.
Number 1, is there any honest gambling in America?
Oh, yeah.
Number 3, could you tell me, the house is supposed to get an ordinary, normal percentage in the ordinary course of the game, and most people think that that's enough to keep the house honest. Is this a canard spread about by gambling houses, or is it true?
It's true.
Hi, Gardner.
Number 1, who is the advisor on gambling to the Dominican Republic and Cuba, both?
I know a man who claims he is, but I doubt if he is.
Would you
There is
mind
no
giving-
official advisor.
Would you mind giving me his name?
Scarney,
Yes. Can you tell me what he looks like?
a gambler.
Number 2, can you tell me what John Scarney looks like?
I just as lead not.
That means you don't want to or don't know.
I don't want to.
Number 3, how about you?
He's a husky, dark fellow.
Uh-huh. Number 2, what are snake eyes?
A pair of aces.
Number 1, what service syndicates your column?
McClure.
Is it true that in Las Vegas that you can do anything you want to with chips? You can buy groceries or do anything with them that's practically legal tender?
Not in every store.
Would you say...
Holly Bergen.
Number 1, what does crimping mean?
Bending the corners of the cards to control them.
Number 2, what is the field? What is known as the field on a dice table?
The area in which the play is made.
And number 1, what is known as the field? Field numbers.
Well, the field numbers or the field? Which did you ask?
All right, field numbers.
2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, but it might be something else.
Number 3, can a person stand, can just a player stand on a soft 17 or must he hit?
He can stand or hit as he pleases. The player.
I see. What about the dealer?
The deal.
That's it. Time to vote now, so deal your ballots out and mark them. Select, of course, by your ballots, number 1, number 2, or number 3. All ready, panel?
No.
Polly still thinking?
I don't know either.
You don't know either? Well, I'm sorry, we have to go. So, Polly Bergen, mark your ballots and tell us for whom did you vote.
All over the place.
Well, I'm wrong, but what is it? Oh, I'm wrong, but I'm voting for number 1. I hope I'm right, but I think I'm right. Wrong. I'm voting for number 1, actually, because he seemed mad enough at Scarney to be a competitor. I think it's number 3 because he was the only one who could identify him, but number 1 just might have been mad about the whole affair.
I see. Ralph, how about your vote?
Number 1.
Now I know I'm wrong.
I have the same feeling, Polly.
Nothing personal.
I have no reason. I don't know.
All right, Kitty Carlisle, your vote went
As
to...
you can see, I started out for number 1, but I really voted for number 2. I was sold a bit on Scarney, too, but number 2 didn't want to say what he looked like. And so I voted for number 2.
Okay. Hi, Gardner. How about you?
I voted for number 2 also. He had the right answers. He seemed to be indignant about Scarney. Number 3 said Scarney is husky, he's slight. And I don't know, it seems to me that number 2 has the dignity to say that those dice are loaded.
All right, there we are now. Rhymes, reasons, and songs. The votes are in. Let's find out now which one of these 3 gentlemen is the real gambling detective. Will the real Michael McDougal please stand up? Thank you very much, sir. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
I am Edward P. Gallagher, a certified public accountant here in New York State.
And I ask the same question of you, number 3.
My name is Nat Bernstein. I'm president of the General Typesetting Company in New York.
Well, that time we had exactly 2 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $500 from Jarrett Hall. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us. Good night and good luck. And unfortunately, that's all we have time for tonight, except to say good night. Good night, panel.
Good night,
Good night, Bud.
This is Bud Collier saying good night from Jarrett Hall and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
Transportation for to Tell the Truth is arranged by American Airlines. guest to flight to New York aboard American famous luxury flight, the DC-7 Mercury. To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Cogman production in association with the CBS television network. Miss Bergen's and Miss Carlisle's dresses by Molly Cornish.